If this is your first time here, I typically vlog weekly about my life as a reserve flight attendant. I have not been flying the past couple weeks and I haven't been feeling the best, so I have not been vlogging. I am in Michigan, in Detroit right now. I'm going home for the weekend. It's Friday. Usually I start my vlogs on Monday, but again, I wasn't doing anything. I'm gonna hit the road. I'm starving. I've got a 3.5 hour drive ahead of me. Without further ado, I'm going to go get some food and get on the road. Hey guys! It's Wednesday, so I'm just going to combine the little bit of vlogging that I did last week with this week. I have not been flying, so y'all haven't missed anything. I've been on call the past 2 days. I was rep A both yesterday and today. I started yesterday number 2 to be called, ended at number 1. Today I was number 1 to be called all day. This is the life of a reserve in the winter. We don't really fly that much. I am in Fort Lauderdale. So this morning I had to wake up at 4:30. Slept horribly last night. I kept waking up in like those cold sweats. This might be TMI, but whatever. It happens to everybody, right? And if you haven't woken up sweating but still cold, then consider yourself lucky, because it's one of the most unpleasant sensations. We had a 7:30 departure this morning to JFK. By the way, it's Thursday. And then it wasn't a full flight, which was nice. But then JFK, but we left Charlotte like an hour late because we had to de-ice. And out of JFK, the baggage overhead bin situation was just out of control and probably the worst that I've seen it in a really long time. We kind of got back on time. We ended up only about 10 or 15 minutes late into Fort Lauderdale. By the time this goes up, the weather will have already passed. You would have heard and seen all about this winter storm that we will see how bad it ends up getting. But right now, first let me preface this by saying that tomorrow our flight is 7:50 out of Fort Lauderdale to Philadelphia, and then it's supposed to be Philadelphia to Charlotte. So, here's the kicker. In preparation for this storm, they have decided to not let any terminating flights, which means flights where they bring the plane into an airport and then it stays the night there. They decided that there are not going to be any terminating flights into Charlotte tonight because they're worried about the ice. Planes can be de-iced, but only if it's like a tiny little layer. And Charlotte's is expected to get like a ½ inch to an inch or inch and a half or something like that of ice. So you think about that. I mean, that's a lot of ice. I mean, you can walk on a lake with 3 or 4 inches of ice, something like that. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's ice. Charlotte is not having any planes like come in tonight and stay there, and then tomorrow, basically, like, they're trying to get all the planes out of Charlotte for tomorrow. So they canceled all flights tomorrow. Philly is supposed to, and they're like, this is affecting other airports too. It's just these are the two that my crew has been focused on because these are the two that affect us tomorrow. Philly is planning on starting to cancel their flights, or they're not allowing any terminating like overnight planes tomorrow, Friday night, and they're going to start probably canceling Friday evening. They've already canceled all of their flights for Saturday. So what we're kind of thinking is either we're gonna get rerouted, like they're gonna send us somewhere else, because obviously like we might be able to get Philly or Fort Lauderdale to Philly, but they're not planning on having any overnights in Philly tomorrow night. I can't imagine that they would just leave us there. Worst case scenario, we do Fort Lauderdale to Philly tomorrow, and then we get stuck in Philly. But then we're stuck there Saturday because Philly canceled all their flights Saturday. So, and then they would be tentatively try to start flying again Sunday morning. Best case scenario would have been they canceled our flights tomorrow already and we could have just turned around and gone straight back to Charlotte tonight, but that clearly did not happen as it is 7 o'clock and I am in the hotel in Fort Lauderdale. I'm gonna show y'all what I brought for food. We've got the typical banana, oranges, you know, non-perishable foods. oatmeal with cinnamon, vegan protein powder. Here we've got carrots that I did not have time to throw into little baggies, so I just brought the whole bag. Trader Joe's roasted garlic hummus, my ice pack. Got broccoli seasoned with garlic powder and Emerald's original essence or whatever. Ground turkey with marinara sauce that I would have with the broccoli because I ran out of pasta. And here we've got green beans with a red cayenne pepper rubbed chicken. Oh, I just realized I don't think I packed enough underwear. If we get stuck until Sunday, Friday, Saturday, nope, I do have enough. All right, we're good. This right here is why you always pack a couple extra pairs of underwear, because you never know what's gonna happen. Update, I just checked on our flights for tomorrow. Both our flights are canceled for tomorrow. So our flight from Fort Lauderdale to Philadelphia is already canceled, and then the flight from Philly into Charlotte is canceled, which I assumed that one was going to be canceled because they were canceling all flights for tomorrow. That's good for us because it means that we are not going to get stuck in Philly until Sunday. I'm imagining we will be here until Saturday morning and get flown back to Charlotte. Maybe work the flight? I don't know though. It might just be a deadhead. If you follow me on Twitter, then you would have seen that I am stuck in Fort Lauderdale and that it is raining, downpouring, and there's nothing to do by this hotel except lay by the pool, which isn't really an option today, is it? As y'all saw, it is raining here in Fort Lauderdale. We are stuck here until tomorrow morning. I think we have an 8 o'clock in the morning departure, but tomorrow was supposed to be my off day, so now the company has to give me back my off day sometime next week. I did get a recommendation from somebody on Twitter that I should go to Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor. I looked it up on the maps and looked up the cost of an Uber or a Lyft to get there, and one way could have been anywhere from just $14, which I don't know what this says about me, but I would totally pay $30 round trip to go get some really good ice cream. And I did look up that place, and it had almost 5 stars on Yelp with like over 500 reviews. So that ice cream sounds like it would totally be worth a $30 round trip Uber ride. But there was also the potential that it could be up to $24. So that right there is a $40 Uber ride. I don't know about that. Well, this is beyond frustrating. The other flight attendants called. Okay, so we were supposed to be working the flight to Charlotte tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. But they sent out a system-wide message with updated information for operations tomorrow. And Charlotte canceled all flights until noon, or maybe it's until 2 o'clock now. I'm not sure. So our flight was showing delayed, like on all these mobile apps. Meanwhile, like all this, we've been talking, you know, kind of watching what's going on via just the mobile app, or the website, which everybody, even passengers, has access to. And then we've also just kind of going by our scheduling system. It's nothing showing updated really in that program, but on everything else, all these other websites that everybody has access to, not just us, it's showing delayed until 2 p.m. Meanwhile, we have yet to hear from scheduling about any of this. So the lead calls, there's different departments in scheduling. She tried calling one department, couldn't get through to them. Tried calling another department and couldn't get through to them either, which is fairly understandable because of how busy it is. But at the same time, like, we need to know what we're doing tomorrow. Yeah, so she was on hold with both of them for in total an hour between both of them. So not too long ago, one of the other flight attendant calls and said that they have not posted the delay. Oh, but Charlotte's closed until 3 tomorrow now. But we're not going, so to stay put, asked what hotel we were in because the computer dropped all that information. I mean, and we had talked to the hotel this morning and they said, yeah, you know, you're fine, like, you can stay. Basically, she just told us that they don't know. So to sit tight until we hear from them. We're to the point now, like we were kind of debating whether we should just go to the airport, but we don't want to get there, lose the hotel rooms, and have the flight be canceled, and then really be stuck. Then the scheduler asked that flight attendant if they had a C flight attendant, which that's my position. I'm the C on this trip. The scheduler asked if they had a C because the system dropped me. Hey guys, it's Monday now, but I'm just going to finish up the vlog real quick. We made it out of Fort Lauderdale. Obviously, I'm back in Charlotte now. I'm not sure exactly what the last thing that I told you guys was, but we were scheduled to work the 8 o'clock flight Saturday morning from Fort Lauderdale to Charlotte, but it was showing that it was delayed until 2 p.m. We never heard from scheduling about it. They never called us to tell us anything. We got into our scheduling system, found out the name of the captain, and asked the hotel if the captain was there. So one of the other flight attendants got in touch with him, and he their scheduling, because the pilot scheduling and the flight attendant scheduling are two different groups of people. So their scheduling had gotten in touch with him and told him what the van time was and all of this other stuff. So the captain told us everything, but so when we showed up to the airport, our first officer wasn't there. So we had to wait for him. Mind you, scheduling never actually got in touch with us about any of it, so if we hadn't gotten in touch with the captain, then we probably would have stayed at the hotel. And then scheduling would have called us at 2 o'clock or whatever and asked us where we were. We'd be like, you never told us that we had to be there, so we didn't go. We didn't end up leaving until a little after 3 o'clock. I think it was almost 3:30 or so, a little bit before 3:30. And we landed back in Charlotte around 4:45, I believe. Yeah, and then I wasn't supposed to be off on Saturday, so I had to call scheduling. I was off yesterday, and so I had to call scheduling and get my off day Saturday given back to me. So I got it for today, Monday, and I do go back on call tomorrow. I already bid. There weren't any trips. I'm good for 4 days, and there was only a couple 2 days and 1 days. So I bid for, I think, the late OPR, and then I also just bid to remain on call. That's it. So I hope that everybody has been having a wonderful new year so far. I'm sorry that I was absent. I just need to take a little break. Plus I wasn't flying anyway, so y'all weren't missing anything, I promise. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out when I get done editing it. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I am getting back on the grind, so new vlog every Monday. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down below. I will see you all next week. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Bye. I am going to go see Big Ben and the London Eye real quick because they are right over there.